Morning, everyone. How you doing? How's your day been? How was your week? Hope it was a good one. And today we're talking about the friendly foliage, like I told you, with this die set. Today's colors are Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon, Crumble Cake, and Pecan Pie. Move those off to the side for a second. Sorry about the noise, and talk about these two. And give me just 1 second. Where is it? Well, it's not raining right now, but it's forecast to rain. How about in your area? What do you got going on for weather today? There I am. And let's make me a little bigger so I can see it. Okay, perfect. Hey, wow, look at that. We're almost straight, too. So, as always, thank you ever so much for shopping with me at JackieBloom.stampinup.net. Waiting for the camera to find me. Come on. I don't know why my phone to my computer, why there's such a lag when I'm live. You would think that it would be pretty synced up. I don't know. Just saying. All right. So I've got 3 cards and a couple techniques to show you today. And one of them is, anybody have the dimensional little end bits all over the place? I know I do. Okay, back to what we were saying. Squirrel. Say hi if you're out there. So I wanted to talk about this stamp and die set for a minute, because there's a couple of different ways you can use it. This is the stamp set, this is the die set. Now, it's got this piece here, and it's got this piece here, okay? I think that's going the wrong way. No, I had it right the first way. Oh, because it needs to be that way? I don't know. Anyway, there's these 2 pieces. Again, squirrel. So there's a couple of different ways you can use these. You can stamp this and then stamp this image from this stamp set. You can die cut this and stamp this and get this, okay? Now, if you go and stamp on a piece of paper, put this down, and then put this down in between, and just put it on here so you can see, line it up like so, okay? And then on your paper, I would tape it down before you cut it out. And you know that you've got it going the right way because, one, you can tell by the leaves, but there's this nice little hole up here that kind of matches up there, okay? And then, and I'm going to show you a card, you get the cutout in between everything, but you could still stamp it like this. And you get this one. So this has solid behind it because you didn't stamp out the inner, and this is stamping out the, or punching, die cutting. Wow. Die cutting out the center. I stamped it first. I put these 2 over the top of it, like so. And I've got it tucked under here. That's why it won't line up. And then you line up this one, tape them down, cut them out, okay? So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. And there is card number 1. Now, what else did I use? So just tuck these away so I don't lose them. Oh, that was lovely. So there's a little catch in here, and I went right through it and out. So let's not do that. All right, so there's that and that. And then if I have extra little bits like this, I just put my envelope back there, the top of it, so that way I have this that I can tuck those into, and I still have my stamp set. And of course, everything's so nicely on the front, it doesn't matter, okay? All right, so card number 1. Also, I used the lasting linen. And I did this on a Misty. I need to get a bigger one because I did it on the mini Misty. It's almost too small. In fact, it kind of bows. So I would use a bigger one. Same thing, I just put my extra little pieces in between. It's a really big stamp. And you get something like this. This is in pecan pie. This one is done in crumb cake. And all I did was cut these an inch out of this. And of course I had to cut it 4 1/4 so it would fit my card, okay? And then I just took, there's all these little, there's these little pieces. And then there's also these little pieces. So I just stamped them in white and then just colored them with a blending brush. Stamped a little bit of that little pretty trim right here, which would be really pretty to go around a square. And add a little bit of linen. I love this thread. This is one of my favorite threads because it's just kind of a neutral color that goes with a lot of things. And it is just called linen thread. And you could, I think, take a blending brush or a blending marker and color it in if you wanted. Okay. And then I use these pretties. Aren't those pretty? And they are Pearls of Beauty. They are in the Brushed with Beauty suite that is an online only. Okay. And that's where I used those right there. And they just go perfect with that color. I think I could have used the white as well. Okay. And as always, if you want any numbers or pricing, just let me know. This is the Forever Plaid. This one is retired, but I think it's still available. And this is a nice big one. Okay, and this is coming up on another card. All right, let's get some of this out of the way. And let's show you a couple of tricks that I did. All right, let's get my stuff rearranged. So there's card number 1. I'm just going to put it up there. I'll bring it back in. Card number 2 that I wanted to show you. And let's get some inks opened up. Let's see, I'm going to need all 4 of them. So we'll put Peacock up there. No, yeah, Lost Lagoon, Crumb Cake, which we're starting with, so I'll put it there. And then Pecan Pie. Okay, so I've got me a piece of 4 3/4 by 3 1/2 to go on our card. And I'm going to stamp with, ooh, sorry, these 3 pieces, which are from this set, which we used, a Friday or 2 ago. So I love this one. And I'm also using the little butterflies, the little flowers, butterflies. And then eventually I'll be using this one ring. There's actually two rings right there, so that one there. Love this set. I also did a card with this, so if you'd like to see it, let me know. It's a Christmas card with the star. All right, so I have my swirly, which I am going to do in Lost Lagoon, because we need that first. And we're just going to kind of put it in the middle, although I did trim it down a little bit. I think I ended up taking off about 1/4 of an inch off of each side. Okay? All right. And then, make sure nobody's asking me anything. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. Okay, so now we're going to take this little piece and watch this. We're just going to put some of these around, and it just so happens, and you don't have to be, it can be in and out. It doesn't have to be right along the edge, okay? But it just so happens that these work pretty perfectly, if I do it right on camera, to get all the way around, okay? I'll wash that off. Now I'm going to go into Pecan Pie, and this time, instead of kind of following the curve, I want to kind of put them out a little bit. So I am going to mind the tail of the leaf and put the other part kind of out. So I'm minding the tail that it's not getting too far wonky. And I'm just going to add a few of these in between where I need them to go. and it just makes a really pretty, you kind of want to leave a little gap like I've done. So there we go. What do you think of that? And then I am going to, let me grab a stamp. I didn't grab a word stamp. And we can use anything in here. I've already used Thinking of You and Get Well, so how about something I haven't used. Sorry. Let's use this one. Hey, I'm always here for you. All right. And I'm going to take this off. Just set those over there for a second. I like to line up my words before I put them on my blog. Sorry if my head gets in the way. I haven't used this one, so I do want to test it. Bring in some scratch paper. And I want to do this in the darkest color, the Pretty Peacock. That looks good. Let's see if we can replicate that. And it's nice because there's a little bit of a, and I also use my grid on my glass mat to line stuff up. And then straight down, straight up. Give it a little time to transfer all that ink. There we go. Let's put this away so that way we can put our flowers back on. So we've got our words down. Oh, didn't quite get clean. Sometimes you have to really look at your stamps and make sure that they got clean. And when you're putting them back on your transfer sheet, that's usually when you see that there's needs a little more cleaning. Okay, let's pull in our flowers, and then whichever way you want. And I'm going to go back into this. And you might think that these little outline flowers would be lost, but looky here. They stand out right on top, just nice as you can be. And this is where you want to kind of, what do I want to say? Oh, I messed up. Sorry. Let me pull it towards me and see if I can get that little one to go. Pretty good. You want to not make it a nice tight circle. You kind of want to go in and out. Make it look more natural. Keep in mind what you're doing. Straight down, straight up. Transfer the ink. One more. Okay. So there we go. What do you think of that? Quick and easy. Relatively painless. And like I said, then I cut it down 1/4 of an inch because I wanted to put it onto a card. And here is the card that I made with that. And I'll pull that up so you can see it. Added a little more twine. And put it on Pecan Pie and the Lost Lagoon to tie those in. And there you have that one. Okay. And then I have one more to show you. But it really doesn't require any other stamping. It's kind of similar to this one. Let me close these up so I don't get ink on me or my pretty cards. Because, you know, inevitably, that's what would happen. All right. So there's card number 2, card number 1. And the last one I wanted to show you is how to step this up a little bit by cutting out more of these bits and pieces. So this is just kind of a teaching moment, a quick and easy one. And then this one is stepping it up a little bit. And I die cut that circle, but I still use that circle that we did from before and just layered this one over the top. Again, added some twine. And then you could add some bling if you want. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to add on this one or if it needed a whole lot. I was thinking maybe the white. The brown kind of gets lost. And then I'm thinking, well, I got that. Do I really need too much? Maybe just a couple. I like to vary the small ones and the big ones. Or if it's a small, medium, and large, sometimes I'll just use a small, medium, and a large. Okay, and now where to put them? Let's see. Actually, we could go kind of out here with the small ones. And again, I'm going to build a triangle. And then we want a bigger, heavier one down here, maybe. Maybe right there. How's that? So there's our long triangle. So there is card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. So on your bigger stamps, don't be afraid to cut them out in a shape or lines or different colors, which I've done, I think, in a video a couple times ago. And don't be afraid to play with it. It's just paper and ink, right? And don't be afraid to step it up a little bit more by having more of the die cuts, okay? All right, so as always, I like to know which one, doesn't look like I'm on camera, which one's your favorite? Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Now, I have started doing this. I wanted to let you know what I'm going to be using next week. And I saw somebody, I'll have to get her name. She took this stamp set, which is not a Christmas one, and made it Christmassy. And I thought, oh, that's genius. So I will get her name, but this is the Petals of Beauty. And I thought I would play with these. And this one is really neat because it kind of, you stamp it once, but you get all this variation of light and dark. So it's like stamping it off second generation and then rolling it around to get some texture and depth. It just does it for you. Easy peasy. So that's what I'll be doing next week. And I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for visiting. And as always, these videos go live on Facebook, and then I upload them to YouTube. So they will live on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is Jackie Bluhm. Bluhm spelled B-L-U-H-M. Jackie spelled with an I-E. And 3117 is my YouTube channel. So this one will be live for a month, and then you'll have to find me there. So if you could like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to help boost me in the algorithms, I would appreciate it. And if you have any comments, any questions, leave them below in the Facebook or the YouTube channel, and that always helps me out. And if you have a video you'd like me to watch and help you with your algorithms, feel free to leave that in the comment, and I will do that as well. Or you can message me on Facebook. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.